The way I envision this driveway is something crazy. I envision a Urus. I envision this Corvette here. I envision an AMG GT63. Just anything you could put your mind to and your grind to. Just know that that shine gonna come behind it, man. The light is on the other side of your action. I'm here with my 2023 Corvette C8. For those of you guys that are new to the channel, I have 11 vehicles personally out and running on the road. This is the 12th vehicle to the fleet, me personally, that I have my hands managing day to day. And it's, you know, an amazing feeling when you're able to wake up. It's currently 8 a.m. I just got off a mentorship call. My one-on-one psychology, working the mind, growing the mind, and, you know, pushing past those limits that have stopped you, you know, from staying in the same position that you're in today. I just need to breathe, man, to slow down for a second. I'm trying to give it to you guys all at once. But, you know, sometimes it just, you know, if you're really here for the long term and you're here for true growth, hey, man, we're going to compound these lessons through life that we, you know, gather here on this channel day by day. What it took for me to get this car, you know, I got rejected, you know, they were saying no, you know, but I made it happen. Most importantly, you know, behind every closed door, you know, there's a key to unlock it. So it's just about finding that missing piece, that missing key. You know, find a locksmith, find a mentor, somebody that's gonna guide you, somebody who's gonna, you know, get you into that door with a little bit more ease, rather than you trying to break the handle with your hand, or, you know, physically, you know, go out here day to day and take action, and you think, you know, that the hard work that you're doing is going to lead you to different circumstances. You know, hard work is one thing, but, you know, making sure that work that you're doing is delegated towards a task that's going to, you know, really transcend you to the next level. And that's what we're here doing on this channel. I know when I was talking to you guys at one point, I was discussing how I'm, you know, running the economy model. I'm running the economy model, but with the economy model, it also comes, you know, lower end clients. And I'm also looking to, you know, get into the higher end client, work with higher end vehicles, make more per day, do more with less with one vehicle. You know, this vehicle can go out at 400 a day rather than an economy vehicle that can go out at 400 a week. So, you know, you could pick and choose. Either way, you could not lose when you are staying true to what it is that you want to do. We're gonna go ahead and start this thing up. We'll go ahead and get a cold start before we take off. We will be heading to the tracker. This is day 2. Yesterday they said that somebody had to head out for a family emergency, so we did get $100 off for an inconvenience fee. But yeah, you guys, just another day here in the field to go ahead and grow. For those of you guys that have been tuned in, you guys follow me on Instagram. Just, we're out here on the blacktop. We balling, y'all. Another day to be great. Let's get to it. Try this again. I thought, you know, we get the cold start with the red guts popping, but it's all good. Eat, eat. I usually work with economy cars. Need a signature? So that's maybe why it's a little bit
cheaper too.
Yeah.
You're right.
Maybe I'll try an economy car out with you guys. See what we can work out.
Yeah, we can put a set price for, you know,
I
if
mean,
you're gonna start bringing them here all the time.
yeah, I mean, I'm growing every month, so I get more and more cars.
That's good.
We got the ticket. Time to get these trackers installed, you guys. It don't matter how much you pay for a car. No matter how much the tracker costs. This is $400. Normally I pay anywhere under $200 for an economy car to get the free wire and the hardwire system. The hardwire system is where you could tack it to the battery and go ahead and kill off the whole vehicle. The free tracker is just to where, hey, it tracks the area of the car. However, you cannot turn the car off and on. After this tracker gets installed, all that's left for us to do is to go and get a client into this vehicle that has full coverage, a valid ID, and a deposit to go ahead and put down on this car. I will be calling somebody and looking more into leads for my business. You know, all my cars are currently booked. All of my economy vehicles, all of my investor vehicles are currently booked. However, when it comes to these higher end vehicles, with there being a bigger payment and people putting their trust into me, even with these economy vehicles, I want to have these leads just flooded to where even if I don't need them, I have them. So that's basically the point that I'm at here now, and just building that confidence within myself to be able to, you know, have people believe in me as well. So, you know, I'm extremely blessed in the position that we're in here with our 2023 Corvette C8. My very first V8. I used to have a V6 Mustang manual transmission, and this vehicle makes me feel alive again, almost like in my youth. But yeah, I'm extremely excited to do a breakdown video, show you guys some more details. I still have a lot to learn with the car before I send it out to where I can, give them a rundown of all the special features that they're going to be having while operating the car. We are at Advanced Car Stereos, and they're going to go ahead and pull it into the garage, get this thing wired up, and she's going to be ready. I'm excited, you guys. I do have a few individuals already looking to get into this vehicle, so it's up to us at this point. It's up to us to take the action, put in the work, do what's needed to be done before this car goes out and get this thing on the road. I'll go ahead and show you guys more of the process of turning off the car and how the tracker works, what I exactly use. I use Gold Star by Sperian. You guys want to look into that now. Aside from the tracker, I gotta go ahead and send out some invoices to a few clients that are renting with the economies. As far as the Volkswagen, we will be getting paid out today. And then just to follow up with all of our clients, make sure they're doing good, having a blessed week, and continue to do good business. And then we'll go ahead and get into the gym, get another win in day by day. Each and every moment that we're using with our time, should be moving towards our destiny, moving towards our highest creation of the reality that we want to acquire for ourselves. So that's what I'm doing here daily. Place those 10 small steps, and just focus on one big step that you could do today, one big step that you've been avoiding, and go after that with all your might, with all your faith, all your belief. And just take action, because I feel like that's 90% of the battle, is taking action, but also having the mentality before you take the action with 100% faith in yourself, and that's how that action will lead in your favor. Definitely more to come. Looking to go ahead and add more vehicles to the fleet here this upcoming week. I'm actually talking with an investor. He will be adding an economy vehicle. He actually had some trouble with his previous rental agency. We're gonna show him a great experience here at Exquisite Exotics. I feel like the more you center and focus on those big decisions that could really alter your reality, it doesn't necessarily have to be, sometimes it could just be doing what you already know you needed to do. Those things that are holding you back, stopping you from going after what it is that you truly desire. And I think it's really important to know who you are as an individual, what you want. And once you know what you want, really the only thing limiting you is your own, conscious decision to take action on that or towards that daily. Let me know what you guys think of that. And if you guys want me to break that down a little bit more, man, I'd love to. Because me personally, for those of you guys that do not know, for those of you guys that are new, I personally have been investing into myself since I dropped out of college, since I bet on myself, took on 2 jobs. Those are physical jobs. You show yourself proof of concept as far as what you're capable of doing, and then you go and you grow from there. Me, myself, I used to work at UPS, packaging boxes and trailers, not seeing any daylight. Now we out here in the sun, man. We walking around. We have the freedom to, articulate our thoughts and reflect and continue to grow day by day, which is truly a beautiful thing. But this right here is something that, this is just course book material. This is something that I paid over $20,000 on, and I'll continue to model and implement the information that I'm getting from my mentor, which was passed down from Bob Proctor, and which is just really diving into the psychology of the mind and how your thoughts lead to your results. If we can control our thoughts and really use it as a benefit to create the reality that we have for ourselves here on a day-to-day occasion, why not do that? So, that's just a bit of dive into what we're doing here on the daily. So me putting the faith behind, hey, this information will lead me to, interact with my goal and actions on a day-to-day basis, at the highest level. So, once you have the information, it really comes down to the faith and the belief within yourself behind any action that you take. I could pay X amount, you could pay anybody anything, but if you don't necessarily hold that as value to you, if it's not your true calling, if you're just doing something because they said do it, that's not your deepest desire. You're not gonna wake up and feel ambitious to go after what you want to do. It has to be something that you take the time to center your focus on and tell yourself, hey, I want to go after this daily, and until it's created, don't talk to me. You know, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to, you know, make this happen, to achieve this goal. You know, I feel like sometimes we spread out our goals. Oh, I want to be a singer. I want to be a dancer. I want $1 million. What value are you going to provide to get that? Each year starts and everybody says, oh, new year, new goals, new me. But in reality, until you really design the reality that you want for yourself, and you take that into mind with daily interactions as far as, you know, acting on what needs to be done. For me, myself personally, you know, adding these new cars to the fleet, you know, hey, me targeting higher end clients, what does that look like? What needs to be done? You know, coming from making the transition from economy cars to exotic cars. And, you know, a lot of people may see, you know, their current circumstances as, oh, I don't have the money, oh, I don't have the client, so I'm not gonna buy the car. But as long as you have to give yourself a chance. You have to take action and allow the universe to open up in your favor. If you don't bet on yourself, nobody else is gonna bet on you. So that's why me personally buying a higher end car, you know, reaching out and, you know, pushing towards those higher end clients, that's gonna go a long ways for me. Just because of the simple fact that I put belief and faith behind this action, and I know that it's gonna push me towards the result that I want, which is higher income months within the industry that I love and enjoy. You know, who doesn't want to drive cars that they enjoy, you know, the cars that they, you know, potentially always dreamed of having. And, you know, especially to do it for free, and not only to provide value to yourself, but also to your investors, you know, the people in partnerships that you're working with. You know, I love the rental car game because you don't necessarily have to have revenue. That Corvette, you know, I got $20,000 from an investor, private investor. You know, he likes the model. I ran the numbers. I created a proposal. And, you know, I put the faith behind, hey, once I create this proposal on Canva, you know, it took 15 seconds, 15 minutes. It took a little bit longer. It took about 2 days. But 2 days of work, you know, strategizing, you know, what your business would look like to have another individual want to buy into your game plan, it's well worth it to me, rather than me going out here knocking 1,000 doors and not necessarily scaling down to those few individuals that I know would want to, you know, indulge in the product that I'm providing. As far as, you know, the day-to-day individual that's running around just trying to pay their bills may not be the person that I want to invest in me, you know, because then they may be leaning on me more so than, you know, the type of individual that I want to work with. You know, you have to, if it's one thing that I've learned from spending all this money, buying a mentor, doing these one-on-one calls, it's that you have to create the reality for yourself. You have to put that faith behind creating that proposal. That's the work in the matrix. If you want something, you have to take action within 72 hours to really show yourself, hey, I'm serious and not just curious. Because, you know, the more you float around within the thought, you lose motivation. You know, majority of the time, our thoughts are more negative than positive. So if you don't have full conviction behind what you want to do, you're most likely not going to do it. And if those of you guys are wondering, hey, how do I build that conviction? You know, how do I build that drive within myself? Hey, bro, if you got to get somewhere, you got to go. You got to get up. You got to move. Ain't no sitting around. Because guess what? Sitting around leaves you in the same state, if not worse. You know, you sitting around waiting for your external events to change, you know, the external reality around you is always going to be out of your control. I can't control who's driving on the street. But I can control what area I'm in, you know, and if this is a high endangered area, you know, I probably wouldn't just be walking through like it's nothing, you know? So it's important to control your own reality. You know, you dictate your own economy. You can't allow the external events as far as what's going to happen, how your boss comes into work, how they feel. You control your feeling states. You control your thoughts. You control your wants. If you're doing something that you don't want to do, make a decision today. Because at the end of the day, what's going to change between tomorrow and a week from now? Things that you can't control. You're just waiting for the outside reality to kind of push you towards wherever you feel is best in the moment. But if you make a decision right now and tell yourself, hey, this is where I want to live. This is what I want to do for a living. And every day I will go after it. I will put away my money. I will stop going out with individuals that no longer push me towards this vision. I would no longer associate with people who do not have the same aspirations as me. If they are comfortable with staying in the same spot, then hey, they are not for me. Because what is for me is growth, accomplishing my goals, changing the reality into something that, truly makes me happy and not somebody else's want. Because at the end of the day, when somebody gives you a task and they tell you to get it done and you do it, even if you're the best at that job, if it wasn't something that you came into this life, your true calling, your deepest desire, something that makes you happy, it's always just gonna be something that you take on and you just want to be paid for. We can't just do a service we want to be paid for. We actually have to have value behind what we're doing. So I think that's the key importance of knowing what you want, knowing who you are, knowing the lifestyle that you want for yourself. And at the end of the day, you have to have faith. You have to have confidence. Whether that's from, picking up the belief of, hey, I've did it before, so I could do it now, and if not even better, because, I've only been growing as an individual. But you have to, you guys, you have to put that faith behind whatever you're doing. You have to take that action. You have to do it within 72 hours if you're really serious and not curious. Because a lot of people say, oh, new goals, new me. But in reality, you have to make a decision right now, today. And if any of you guys want to dive deeper into this, with making that decision, man, feel free to hit me up on Instagram. I'll leave my socials down below. But right now, we have arrived at West Coast Exotics. I personally just bought a car, but guess what? I'm gonna go get some more motivation from, individuals that, are doing better than me. Individuals that, have obtained a facility such as this that I would see my cars in, from all the cars that I end up getting from investors. Or truly is a beautiful day. It's be great. Y'all let me know how y'all doing today, man, in the comments. Stay tuned. Let's talk about the Urus, y'all. This is actually a vehicle that I wanted to get started with when it came to exotic vehicles, and I actually will be adding this vehicle to the fleet here sometime soon. We're just speaking into existence here. You don't necessarily have to know how or why. You just have to know what you want to tap back into what we were saying. I actually just got off the phone call with Brandon, Mr. Reliability, for those of you guys that are focusing and centering on the economy vehicles, really scaling and growing your business. A great individual to go ahead and partner with. But what he's giving me the opportunity to do is partner with an individual that helps him push his leads. I believe Brandon has upwards to 100 vehicles right now, if not around the 80 range. And each one of those vehicles is generating upwards to $1,600 to $1,800 a month. So just imagine, I believe he's averaging around 550K a month minimum, just off economy cars. But to tie back into why we are sitting in this vehicle and why I talk about the Lamborghini Urus as something that I want to be rented, it's a $1,000 per day vehicle. It's an experience that not everybody gets to feel, see, and touch. And when you do have the opportunity, it truly is a blessing to indulge in, because how often is this something that you experience? And if it's available to you and it's something that you want, you can make it happen. Just like how I'm sitting in this car here, kind of like just getting a feel for what it would feel like talking to my subscribers, coming from a Honda Accord, maybe a similar vehicle as to what you're driving now, and just to kind of stretch my skin and put myself into an environment that I truly see myself, which is in nice things like this. This is what my heart feels fulfilled with. Not to say materialistic things is my deepest desire. However, it is a good way to see your results and the things that you're setting out for yourself, and to go ahead and accomplish. Just the fact that we are here today and to have gratitude in this very moment of sitting in my dream car. This is just one of them. With me being in the rental car industry, I can't say that I tie myself to one car. I feel like each and every car has its own characteristic, its own feel, its own unique sensation that makes it special, which is why there's a market for everybody. And just to dumb things back down, $1,000 per day vehicle is what I'm looking to get to, and which is what we're already here. We're sitting in it now, and it's already available. Now I just have to continue to do my piece, continue to put faith behind what I'm doing, continue to take the action, to target to individuals that I feel like would best fit my target audience. And, just allow things to compound over time, snowball over time. When you see these ads like McDonald's on your screen, when you're watching TV, it's something that's unconscious, we may not be aware of. Why are they playing this same advertisement all of my life? And it just keeps you sucked into the feel of, keeping that in the back of your mind as to, what's available. And maybe you guys may not watch videos like this all the time, but this is just, putting it into your mind that it's available. And the more that I do this for myself, the more that this will become the true reality in my life. And, if you guys don't believe it, just wait to see it. And that's all I can say. I don't necessarily have all of the physical results, but what results that I do have, I will take action and create the most out of them. So, man, it's another beautiful day to be in a foreign thing. Just picture yourself driving, adjust your seat to how you would like it. How would you drive? Most importantly, just to know that these things are available, and not to say that this is what you have to center your focus on. One vehicle is definitely not my center of focus. I want to be able to hand over a tangible, running business that, somebody could profit, provide value to also their family well after I'm gone. And, it's not something that was given to them as, necessarily another man's vision. Yes, it may be my vision, but it was driven and it was pushed into the universe to be able to provide value for those that come after me. So it'll definitely be tailored to a different experience rather than somebody just walking into a job that they don't know what to do. They don't know if they want to do it. They just know they need money. My platform, my rental agency is more than just a car for money. It's bringing the experience, it's building the relationships, and tailoring whatever experience that you would specifically want for you. I would be more than blessed to be able to provide it. And that's what we'll continue to do throughout life, continue to compound on these things that are in our favor on a day-to-day basis. I know I had the opportunity to be able to sit in the Lamborghini Urus once seeing this thing open, and that's exactly what I did, man. What are you guys going to capitalize on within 72 hours and do today? Plenty of room. If you're interested in driving a high performance vehicle such as this, you can book today with Exquisite Exotics. We have specialized partnerships allowing you to rent your dream car. Let's get started. Which one y'all choosing? Just know I ain't losing. I'm gonna go with the all black for this one reason. The white one got the carbon rims. They ain't gonna get me with a nail straight out the lot though. Making our way back down. We just left West Coast Exotics, got some inspiration. We're gonna go ahead and test out the kill switch, make sure everything's running properly, everything's wired, set up properly to ensure that we can kill the car if it were to ever be needed. And this is just the fundamentals of what it takes to go ahead and get this baby running on the road. You also gotta have a contract in place to reduce and release all liability throughout the renter's term with the vehicle. But aside from this, y'all, it's time to hit the streets. Let me know who's gonna be the first renter, y'all. Let's go ahead and pay up. I used to pray for times like this to grind like that in the matter of time I spent in. Check engine light. Yo. All right, Car Stereo Motorsports. They said just drive off and it should clear up. You can never be too sure when it comes to something like this. So let's go ahead and do this again. Start her up. This car, from what I've learned and from what I've seen, from the little bit of research that I have done, you got to take these things in at 5,000 miles to go ahead and service the transmission fluid. We are low on fuel.
Here, we'll give you the proven.
But most importantly, parking brake. Let's go ahead and clear this check engine light. Anyways, beyond grateful, beyond thankful to have our kill switch back in the car. I'm gonna go ahead and drive this vehicle around a little bit with a little bit of gas that we do have. Go ahead and put on that seat belt. Click it or ticket. So basically what he said is, after I drive around the car, since they disconnect the battery terminals when it came to situating out the kill switch, I believe it just triggered something within the system. So I'm gonna go ahead and drive it around a bit. If I gotta take it to AutoZone, run a diagnostic to see exactly what that is reading there before the shop closes up, I will get that done. But yeah, hopefully on this next straightaway, we're able to clear this check engine light and everything is good to go from there. If not, you know, it's just one more thing we get to grow and learn from and, you know, take step by step, day by day with the time that we do have. All I can say is I'm forever grateful for this opportunity to just take another step towards that reality that, you know, we've desired, or that I have desired for myself, you know, to be able to drive cars that I love daily for free at that. This vehicle will be free after 4 days of rentals. I don't have to make a payment within 45 days. When financing a vehicle, it's a super great pleasure. Within 30 to 45 days, you guys do not have to make a single payment. So right when you get these cars with the proper information as to how to structure your rental car agreement, what type of individuals are you looking for to go ahead and get into these vehicles, and just having a general understanding of, you know, the ins and outs of what it takes to go ahead and cater and service to individuals that are looking for what you have. I'ma go to that dash and they land when I'm in it. I came out twice, so it's raining.